for being here today. We are La Posta Agency, and we will be presenting our campaign project to you. We're going to start off with some names. My name is Kayla Ferraro.
I'm Randy Clark.
My name is Chris.
Jason Short.
I'm Chrissy.
Hello, Jim.
And our name is called La Posta. Why La Posta? Because in Spanish it means the best, or the real deal. And the reason we wanted to name ourselves that was because we wanted a name that would not only characterize our diversity as a group, but also our determination and our characteristics.
We're going to start off with our research, start off with the industry analysis. As you see, the catering businesses have brought in over $11 billion in revenue. Of that, over $900 million is the actual profit. As of February 6, 2017, the catering industry actually saw its biggest drop in the past 5 years. Not due to the economic climate, actually the economy is doing pretty well. However, people are using their disposable income towards things such as housing, purchasing vehicles, or debt repayment. Around mid-2018, the millennials are actually projected to raise the amount or change the trend in the catering industry, considering that they'll have a purchasing power of $3.6 trillion. We're going to talk about their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that Sonny's currently has. Starting off with the strength that Sonny has is its ability to offer a customized menu for their customers. This is well with our target market of millennials, as they like to have the diversity in their meal options. A weakness that Sonny's is currently facing is it currently doesn't have a navigable website that allows people to purchase catering with ease. There's a few things that obstruct people from purchasing. Opportunity that Sonny has is there's a strong tailgating presence within the Gainesville community. Sonny has the opportunity to capitalize on that market. However, there's a potential threat during the winter and summer where the Gainesville population drops by 1/4. So Sonny has to be able to capitalize on their summer, on the tailgating opportunity, but also be able to set itself up for winter.
Now with the competitor analysis, there's over 102 different restaurants that are certified to cater here on campus. So there's a lot of competition going around. So we decided to focus on these 7 competitors because they serve as similar products and services that you all do. This slide here shows you your competition's styles of catering options that they have done in the past, anywhere from self-serve setup to exciting tailgating events and formal dining halls for anything from award ceremonies to weddings to even graduation parties. And you guys are one of the certified caterers who can also serve alcohol during the events as well. Consumer analysis. There's 2 target audiences that we'll discuss a little bit later on, but these target audiences also did focus more on efficiency and promotions. 4 out of 5 people stated that there are promotions and discounts that they use throughout their catering ordering that would rather have them keep coming back. And the product analysis. We all know you guys serve the best Southern style barbecue in town, even in the Southwest or in the Southeast. You guys have the pulled pork, the all-you-can-eat barbecue chicken as well. Most people don't know that you guys offer a catering service. Most of them know that it's just more of a brick-and-mortar store or restaurant.
Okay, as far as the survey goes, we decided that the main way to conduct the best primary research was to ask the consumers exactly what they thought about Sonny's, about the brand, about barbecue in general. Some of the questions that you see up here are demographic questions, like for example, what is your age? But we also went into detail about what the consumers actually thought of barbecue, what they thought of Sonny's. That way we had more of a direction when we were doing our executions. So some of the questions that you'll see is like, what color do you associate barbecue with? That was obviously to help us with our color direction and kind of our color scheme that would attract these kinds of audiences. We put out this survey in a very traditional way. We did not promote it on social media. Reason being because there is a Facebook or social media bias when you do things like that, and you're going to get more of a biased result. So we wanted to do it in a way where we put flyers in stalls, we handed out flyers around campus, we made it kind of a word of mouth to complete this. That way we got as much unbiased information as possible, people that were actually around campus and that are involved with this curriculum. Results. As far as results, a couple things stood out. We had a ton of results. We actually had more than 102 respondents. But our results, these are the ones that stood out the most. As far as ranking for competitors, we found that Four Rivers was the most, or the highest ranked among consumers that responded to this survey. Then came David's Real Pit Barbecue, and then came Sonny's. So that was something that really stood out to us that we really wanted to focus on and kind of take these things into consideration when doing our executions. As far as consumer color preference, we asked them what their favorite color was when they thought about barbecue. What was the first color that came to mind? We got brown, red, maroon. All of these things you're going to see throughout our executions as well. Top of mind adjectives when thinking of Sonny's, same kind of concept. The ones in bold are the ones that obviously came up most. We found good, barbecue, quality, like, pulled, pork. These are all things that we also include in our executions. And then negatives of barbecue. Why is this important? Because we want to be able to know what consumers think is negative about barbecue so we can change those perceptions and have them want it more. So some of the things was casual, meat was something that obviously we can't change if it's barbecue, but we definitely took it into consideration. Fancy was another one, cooked, friendly. Friendly is not a negative thing, but when you think of it in terms of catering, maybe people think that it's too casual or too friendly. So that's something that we wanted to change as well. Our marketing plan. When we met with you guys in the beginning of the semester, we asked you what your goal was for us, what you wanted us to accomplish. You let us know that you wanted catering sales to increase by 300%, so we decided that was going to be our marketing objective for the next 6 months. Primary target market. So we picked 2 target markets. This is going to be the first one. This is actually Ronald Pierce. He is a student here at the University of Florida. He is 20 years old, and he is very heavily involved on campus. What does this mean? He's a leader of his organizations. He puts together events on campus. He's in fraternity. He also is the president of one of his organizations here on campus. They're hardworking people, they're peer conscious, but most importantly, they value technology. This is something we're going to talk about later, but we definitely made our campaign technology heavy in order to attract these kinds of people. And as far as our second target market goes, this is a professional here on campus. Her name is Callie Snow. She is 40 years old. She is a professor. These are the kinds of people that are also heavily involved on campus, and not only professors, but they're mentors, they're advisors, they're group leaders among their peers as well as students. And they're very friendly, they're socially very active. However, they also use technology in functional ways. These are not people that are, I guess, naive to the technology. They really know how to use it, and that's something that we wanted to highlight as well. The creative execution. We're going to go into all of our executions at this point, but the main slogan that we wanted to stick with, and something that we are very fond of because it kind of incorporates this idea of bringing UF and Sonny's together, was this quote right here. It says, "Nothing goes with orange and blue like good old Sonny's barbecue." So that's something that we also incorporated. As far as media goes, we just mentioned how technology heavy this campaign is, but there's a reason behind it. The main reason is that we are living in a world where you have a computer in your pocket, if not in your hand, at all times. So before it was the newspaper, then it was the TV, and now it's the cell phone. And we need to make sure that Sonny's is present on this media. It's literally one of the most important things in terms of technology at this point. So this is something that we really took into consideration and wanted to revamp.
So we had our meeting a couple months ago, and one of the first things we realized was we were going to have to build an app, and we were going to have to build a website. As the idea of service and an app is so synonymous with one each other, and we knew it was going to take thousands of lines of code, and we wanted to make sure that we got it done correctly. So before we even decided to code anything, we wanted to get some inspirations of people who just, so we can have more strategic communication. So our first inspiration was Marshall McLuhan. Now he was a Toronto professor, wrote a bunch of novels, but one of the things that kept ringing in our ears was the fact that he said this phrase called "the medium is the message." Where because as advertisers, we tend to focus on the slogan, the commercial, but we don't tend to focus on what medium we're advertising and what are we saying as we advertise on that medium. That's why everything we use, if it was Facebook, if it was Instagram, it was all to build this theme of increasing transparency and reducing the mystery of catering at Sonny's. Our second inspiration was Tristan Harris. He was a design philosopher at Google, and he published a bunch of academic journals about why are apps, why are phones, why are computers, because there's been several mediums that have caught our attention, but there's nothing that's stimulating the mind nearly as much as an app on our phone, because it's more personal, or our computers. And so, which my partner Caleb will go further into detail, but basically we wanted to make sure that all his ideas were incorporated into the app. The third one was the 2008 Domino's campaign, where I found this one fascinating because this was a moment where I felt they wanted to change from just any chain to like the chain for the people, as they spent a lot of time on their online catering system and the user experience because they wanted to be so friendly and simplistic that anyone could use it. And that's one of the themes that we all incorporated as we coded all our stuff. So.
And how is this going to work? Well, the main thing with our app and our website was that we wanted to incorporate these three theories and ideals. Mainly the first one talks about the fact that when you check your phone and you have a notification, it brings you the same emotion or the same feeling as if you were to be pulling on a slot machine. So this idea that you're going to find and you're going to encounter something new or something, you know, a notification on your phone, we wanted to really incorporate that in the app and make sure that we were using push notifications and that we were incorporating this kind of theory. FOMO, fear of missing out. We wanted to make sure that once people downloaded the app and once they used it, they kept it and they kept being engaged with it, because that not only helps the brand relationship, but it helps the top of mind and the awareness of the brand. So we wanted to incorporate that as well, making sure that there's always content or new content on the app to keep people engaged and informed. And then the bottomless bowls is this idea that it's kind of, if you were to put it in an example, would be like Netflix. When you're watching Netflix, and you guys all watch Netflix, right? You guys know what it is. Okay, so you watch an episode, and then without you having to touch anything, it goes to the next episode. And it's this constant, endless content that technically Netflix's biggest competitor is sleep, right? So that's kind of the same idea that we wanted to go into, where it's this endless amount of content that people are going to be engaged with all the time.
So as our research, we found that we cannot build just an app or not build a website, as we get into another campaign to advertise apps, which would be a bit too complicated. So we decided to make the website, which again, to increase transparency, which is mystery, but I'd rather just show you instead of tell you. Back, so, okay, which we will show you at the end. But and another thing we wanted to, what we accomplished was that one of the big reasons why we did the app was the statistics are staggering. I mean, you see people that are around, it's clear that their phones are captivating people's attention more than anything. I mean, our research found that the average person checks their phone 150 times a day, just by just touching it. And it's one of those things where, and also people found that the experience of ordering food or just doing anything through a phone more pleasurable than doing it in person, as I was trying to find. And then, and this is the idea for the app, which we'll be able to show you towards the end. And then, so the thing was, and so yes, and we'll show you all at the end.
So the second half of our creative campaign is going to focus a little bit more on being experiential, and it's going to be an opportunity for us to really hone in on connecting the Sonny's and Gator brands. So we're going to do this by focusing on one of the more prolific times in Gainesville, which is going to be our tailgating and football season. So our main PR stunt idea for this is to kind of host a free and public catering event on the first home game of the season. And it's going to be an opportunity for you guys to advertise to the public, and also we plan on hosting a kind of a contest event to advertise to our primary target market. It's going to be an opportunity for different student groups and like fraternities, things like that, to kind of send some students to compete, and they can compete to win a free catered event. Excuse me. And this is going to be just like an opportunity to show how catering is. How the Sonny's catering fits perfectly into tailgating season, and also can fit for any event that they want to choose. advertise this in a variety of different ways, one of which is going to be our social media campaign. Just an example of one of our social media advertisements. Okay, so just like little short videos like that. And we're also gonna be distributing information about the event via flyers. So this first flyer is gonna be a way to reach our primary target audience, which is the student group. And this is just gonna be like a simple flyer advertising when the event will be, what it is, etc. And then our next flyer will be a way to reach our secondary target market, which is the older crowd on campus. And this is just a general catering advertisement. We'll also be using different ads in the Alligator, and this is just a simple ad to advertise catering in general, but we want to incorporate the QR code, which is going to help lead people to easy access to downloading our app. And then finally, not finally, but we also have these scoreboard ads, which is going to be a really great way to reach both the primary and the secondary target audiences. And it's going to inspire them, to get tailgating for their next game. And what's important about this campaign is that we want to use Shannon as kind of a spokesperson for Sonny's, because as a former football player, he's a really authentic connection to the Gators, and it's definitely something we want to capitalize on. We'll be using the same ad for our bus wraps. This is going to be a great way to reach our primary target audiences. By using the 120 and the 125 routes going around campus all the time, we'll get constant exposure to the students that we're trying to reach. And then we also plan on using a radio spot. This is going to be a great way to reach our secondary target audience, which are people kind of in the Gainesville area and surrounding. So by using GHQ 105.3 and 100.5, we'll be able to get some good coverage. And we have a mock of our radio spot to play for you.
Hello, Gator Nation. The football season right around the corner. Sonny's is here with some advice to take the worry out of your tailgates. Bring all of your friends and family together this football season with Sonny's Catering, the perfect fit for game day. Pick up right at our Arch Road store or order delivery. Remember, folks, nothing goes better with the orange and blue than good old Sonny's barbecue.
I hope your Sunday is going awesome. I also hope you're ready for some passenger disclosure. Get radio WYKS, Gainesville.
Alright, so now to jump into the media plan. To go over the media vehicles, for the social media aspect, we chose Instagram and Facebook. And these would include hype videos and paid spots, such as push ads. We also chose to put ads in the Alligator. And we also had 30-second radio spots, which you just heard, and this is to keep Sonny's top of mind to our consumers. And then we also have the bus wraps, which travel in and out of campus constantly, creating just crazy amounts of frequency. I mean, students are going to see those multiple times a day. It's just a great way to advertise to our primary target audience. Then also the outdoor advertisement to advertise for that beginning tailgate at the personal game. So for the media schedule, we chose pulsing. We thought this was most optimal because, we chose to pulse in these months because this includes in the prime of football season, which is the most heavily populated time in Gainesville. So that's obviously the best time to advertise that. And then March Madness, just all kinds of events going on. And then this is where we had two media plans. We were proposing a $50,000 budget increase. We had a $20,000 budget, which you guys initially gave us, and that included 10. It included 10 radio spots on non-pulsing months and 13 radio spots on pulsing months, as you can see below. And then on pulsing months, this would include 20,000 impressions for mobile and social spots. And then on non-pulsing months, this would include 15,000 impressions for mobile and social spots. So we were proposing a $50,000 budget because we didn't feel like this let us put out the proper amount of ads to properly reach our target audience. So with a $50,000 budget, we would have 50 radio spots in pulsing months. They would also generate 80,000 impressions for the mobile and social spots. And then for non-pulsing months, we had 25 radio spots, and the mobile and social spots would generate 50,000 impressions. And this is a graph that is just showing the reach for the $20,000 budget. So as you can see, it's kind of low. And that's because we couldn't obviously put the proper amount of ads out there. So the average reach would be 32% of our target audience, and we would have an average frequency of 1.75. So if we increase that to the $50,000 budget, as you can see, the reach overall rises a very good amount, which we think is a necessity to reach that target audience. And it would increase the average reach to 59% of our target audience. And the average frequency would go up to 4.75, which means we're reaching them more effectively and more amount of times. And for the budget, the official budget of $20K, we failed to reach the optimum amount of ads. So that's why we suggested the $50,000 budget. For spot radio, we spent $16,200. For the social spots, $6,240. For the mobile spots, $7,800. For the outdoor ad, that was only $1,608. For the bus wraps, that was $4,200. And miscellaneous, this includes stuff like just extra funds for the tailgate at the first home game. Yeah, and that's it.
One thing that we want to do before we end our presentation is go back and see the website and app. So just okay, we're showing the computers the whole idea with the app and the thing where ideally the minute someone would go onto the website, the first thing they would get is just the whole pitmaster and the whole idea of what the catering experience is like. So we'd see the menu, we'd see just that whole what we offer, and then the other aspect we want to truly bring up is the fact that you guys have such a diverse menu that can be used for any catering situation, from tailgates to weddings to parties. So we wanted to make sure that those aspects were truly express those aspects. Along with that, our menu, the idea that the PDF menu would be gone, and the fact that we would have a more fluid, more user-friendly user experience, and the fact that you would be able to see everything from the website and be quick and efficient, and it would cause pleasure to the customer, the fact that they could automatically see everything. And the third aspect, which I really want to grasp, is the blog. And the fact of one major aspect is the SEO, where people need to find this website, and truly, yes, you can pay some pay Google and for 6 months to increase exposure, or you can just put organic content and let it happen naturally instead of having to pay every 6 months for people to find the website. So, and another aspect is I want people to go on this website even if they don't have a catering experience. I want them to be a fan of Sonny's Barbecue, and they will see the experiences that you guys are having. So that was the idea with our website. We have more features, and then now the app. The app, when we coded it, we coded it for iOS and Android. So the ability being that you guys could, doesn't matter what your customers use, you'd be able to use it, okay? And the minute you go on the website, you can sign up with Facebook, you would log in, or make a new account, okay? I'm already logged in. And then the menu, because we don't want to make the website into the app, we wanted to make it a simplified experience. And the fact that we want people to keep the app. We don't want people to just download twice a year when you need a catering event. We want it to, because we want to invent that whole idea of missing out if we don't have the app. So we put features into it so people can have it. And again, you can order every possible thing from the menu you would have on the app, and it would be a simplistic service. And again, as you sign on and you create your Facebook, it'd be your account, it would recognize you, you'd have you put your payment method. Everything would be, it wouldn't be necessarily the website, but it'd be a different experience because again, websites are global, but iPhones are more personal. And we wanted to make sure we accomplished that when we created this website. And yes, and the other aspect is the fact that it would remember your locations that you guys were doing your catering experiences. So if you guys want to do again, say for a tailgate, there's a specific area, it would remember, and it would be a more efficient system than using some other service. So these are the two mediums we felt were very important as we were making this website to accomplish. And yes. All right, and then say thank you. Good, that's it.
Thank you.
Bring your computer down, maybe we can show them a little bit more downstairs.
It works.